Let's see what the signal's like. Excellent connection. Oh yeah. Happy days, oh happy days when Jesus was. Right, we've got a signal to the actual image. How about that? That'd be great. There we go. There we go. Up and running. Hi cats, how we doing? Yeah, perfect. You're just the person I need to see appear in this chat. Right. I'm gonna try and do what we spoke about the other day. Let me just YouTube. I will figure this out. We can get the right. You viewers who opt in. All right. So apparently, you have to opt in to receiving gifts. Cat. I don't know how to do this. Let me hang on. Viewers opt in to receiving gifts. Let's just try this. Right. Okay. By clicking a button or link that appears during a live stream and so on as process. Okay. I'll have to keep figuring this out. I'll have it figured out. A couple of days. It's so awkward. Anyway. How are we, Cap? And someone else is in the chat. I'll go looking to see who it is. But right, 2 minutes 30. Just need to edit that out. Right, let's go and get this on the road. Start down in Munster. I know you like me to start in Munster. Well, if we'll see. Actually, I'll bring it up on the chat with the TikTok, and then we can go from there. Okay. Oh, you do have it. All right. Let's have it. Okay, so you do have it. That's all right. That's as long as your side's done. That's the main thing. That's it. As long as your side's it, then I'll figure out the rest on my side, and then we can get that done for you and Wayne as my moderators. Ugh. Okay. Right. We're live on TikTok. And so it will begin. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Well, welcome to all you lovely people and learning about Irish medieval history. Hello, Donna. Welcome. Hello from Rochester, New York. Well, welcome in. Hope having a great, I don't know what time it is there. I'm guessing it's morning? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure of the time zones. I did have, I could find it, but that would mean picking up my phone. But welcome in. And if you got any questions, ask away. Oh, and TikTok has already started. Nice. As always, it's great to see. April Collier is, I don't know, Collier, that's a very interesting name. Is it a variation or something? Like it could be a variation of Kyler, which is Kavla in Irish. Hi from San Francisco, Kelly family. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, April. I don't know if Collier is a variation of Kyler, which is Kavla in Irish, then yeah. But I don't know. I've never seen that variation on an Irish surname. It's very interesting. If you don't know, then I'll happily look into it for you. And hello, Andrea. Good evening. We can get that sort of, see if that's what it is. Okay. Wow, everyone's in fast and straight back to how we know TikTok. Okay, let me see if I run down some of these. Wow. Okay, I can't keep up with all them. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the first names that show up. Begley is found in Donegal. It's an Irish and it's an English name. But the Begleys are the Irish Begleys are associated with Donegal. So, but like I say, you'll have had families that come across with the plantations and settled in similar locations. Yeah, it's Donegal. I think if I remember rightly, they did make their way down south to Cork, but I can't remember why. So there is a small branch here, but they still descend from the same line from the Begleys of Donegal. So Kinsella, yeah, from that's an anglicisation of the Ekinshillag. The Ekinshillag were the main tribal group, from which the Kavanaghs and the McMurroghs, so the Murphys, McMurroghs, Kavanaghs, all sort of descend from, and Kinsella is that. So it's they're one of the, I suppose, kings of Leinster, but they're from Wicklow, from the South Leinster, but they obviously ruled Central and South Leinster. So yeah, it's that's where the Kinsillas come from, the Ekinshillag. If you watch who did I do recently? The Murphy video. It'll give you a little bit of information about the Ekinshillag, and therefore Kinsiller. But yeah, that's New York Times 5:15 p.m. Oh, okay. So you should probably just getting ready to sit down for your dinner. I don't know. Do you have dinner around 5? I know in like UK and Ireland between 5 and 6 is the normal. Have you done Brady before? I have done Brady before. I've done Brady. I don't even know how many times I've done Brady. There's multiple sort of branches of Brady. You've got the O'Bradican, O'Bradigan, sort of all anglicize their name to other variations, but Brady being one of them. So Cavan is the sort of mainland of the Ulster branch of Brady's. I believe they were hereditary Brehons as well. So yeah, they're found in Cavan. But like I say, you've got the Bradicans of Mayo as well. So you'll find Brady's over in Mayo. But you'll find anywhere, like there's a couple others, the smaller ones, Bradigan down in Central Ireland as well, so they kind of anglicised the name to Brady as well. Osprey, hello from Canada. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hang on. Wow. There's so many people. Hang on, I wanted to get, there was a couple of names at the top. Let's see if I can recover them before people go mad and think I'm ignoring them. Gallagher, depending on where you're from, is a Donegal name. So they are found on both sides of this part of Ireland. So they're found in Connacht, but they're all related to the same line, from which is a branch of the O'Connell, which was the ruling branch. The ruling branch was the O'Donnells. The O'Connell were the ruling sort of tribal group that ruled Donegal from probably the 12th century till the English came across, so probably till the end of the Tudor conquest of Ireland in 1603. Muck Hugh, Libby Murphy. I've done Murphy and I've done Muck Hugh's videos on my TikTok channels. So Muck Hugh, there's multiple variations. You'll have the Tirhugh, is a county here in Donegal, from which takes its name from the Hughes family, an Irish family who adopted the surname Hughes. Then you have a branch of Hughes who are of the O'Neills, and then I think there's a Hughes who are a branch of the O'Kellys as well, if I remember rightly. So there's a couple of Hughes, but they sort of all along South Ulster, East Connacht is where they're sort of found. Yeah, so like I say, I think it's the 7th. There you go. I've just looked. It's the 7th one up from my from the bottom for the Hughes. So yeah, if you 7th one up in the middle, you'll see. I don't recall if I've ever asked you about the Irish Catholic Golden. My father said the Mac something originally, but I know there are Golden still in Ireland. Yes, the McGulgarick of they're associated with the O'Rourke's. So they're found in the Kingdom of Breffni, and it was anglicised to Golden, Golding, Golden, are the two sort of branches. So you'll find it quite prominent. Like I said, they're part of the Kingdom of Breffni, so you'll find it in sort of surrounding regions too. But the homeland is associated where this kind of, well, the O'Rourke's were on the Leitrim side. They were from West Breffni. So this is the county of the Goldens. Duffy isn't Irish. It is Irish. Well, I mean, you're gonna have you have Scottish branches of it too. So it's gonna have it has multiple branches, but the Irish version is from the O'Dovata. So and they anglicised their name to Duffy. Quite prominent in South Ulster, around Armagh. Is a prominent Irish branch of the family. Connacht as well. In fact, there's actually there's a couple of smaller families that shorten their name to Duffy, but the Connacht, Monaghan, and Armagh is some of the heartlands of the O'Duffys, and a branch of the Dalcash who were O'Briens. So yeah, it is, Duffy is an Irish name, and it's obviously you have the Scottish branch as well. You know, it's to say something's an Irish name, an English name, or Scottish name is it's a bit silly because many Irish people anglicize their names to what we would consider English names. You know, some of these names have been in Ireland for centuries. So when I say Irish, I just mean that the family were of Gaelic extraction and changed their name. You know, we're here maybe before the English arrived, but yeah. Leahy, I'm sure it's Cork. Please correct me if I'm wrong. No, you're not wrong. Leahy, Leary, all these sort of variations are branches of the Corca Lira, who were the original kings of Munster. So they're related to the likes of the Coffees and the O'Driscolls of Munster. The O'Driscolls were the senior line of the Corca Lira, but yeah, but there will be obviously branches all over. So, Cronin's from Cork, right? Yeah, Cronin's found in Cork too. Cronin is found in Cork. It's probably where it's found the most. I know that you'll find Cronin's all the way up to Limerick. So really, you should say maybe it's a Munster surname, because it's found all the way to Limerick and Kerry. So it's got a lot of so Dovegal, anything with the name Dove in it. Even though died, someone's just put that. Did I disconnect briefly then? This again. Yeah, so anything with dove in the name, which means dark, black, gloomy, in any Irish language, can shorten its name to Duffy. So you will just find it attached to a lot of surnames in Ireland. So why is my internet? Oh, don't say my internet's doing this again. You'll be in big trouble. Hang on, let me just change my settings on this. Boom, boom, boom. Let's lower the settings. Grattan, do you know where it originated? Some say McGrattan was from Scotland. Yes, so Grattan is actually a variation of McNaughton, which I suppose is an anglicization of another, obviously another Irish name. But yeah, it's Scottish. It's actually Scottish and Irish. The McNaughtons are. Oh, hang on, talking about Norton and my Norton security things popping up. Yeah, Nortons are found in Ireland, found in Scotland, native to both. So yeah, it's primarily you're gonna find them in Scotland, but so you'll have them in Ulster. Is probably where you'll find the most McNaughtons, but the name can be found in Munster too. I'm getting a lot of crackling or interference or sound. I think it's actually hang on, my microphone is under my screen. Let me move the cannot hear you. Have we lost sound? OBS. No, it's just saying I'm producing sound. Osprey, can you hear me now? Sean, I've moved the better now, thank you. I didn't catch. Yes, can hear you better now. Okay, yeah. My microphone. I put my microphones under my screen. I thought it would look neater, but obviously, it's obviously come with some problems there. Morans, where are the Morans from? Yeah, I do Morans most nights. There's actually 4 branches of Morans in Ireland, or not 4 branches, but 4 unrelated sort of families that have anglicised their name to Moran. Let's get this started over here. So, yeah, nice and clear now. Thank you. Yeah, so you have the O'Morans from Mayo, is a big branch. The McMorans from Fermanagh are another branch of the family, and another branch are from the Evina, so they're related to the O'Kellys. So Morans found basically in Ulster, Connacht, but yeah, there's definitely another one, I can't remember. Evina, Mayo, Fermanagh, McMorans. It'll come to me. But yeah, so there's multiple McMorans. My Irish roots are from the O'Dowds, anglicised to Doody, my great granny's side. Yeah, O'Dowds here, they're part of the Fiacre, and they were rulers of northern Sligo along the coast. Some of their castles are still there along the coastline. I've been to them; they're quite interesting. Oh, hang on, I can't get my mouse to the other screen. Fitzgerald, please. Yeah, Fitzgeralds came across to Ireland in 1169. They were the head of Strongbow's army. They descend from Maurice Fitzgerald, who was the son of Gerald de Windsor, who was a Cambro Norman lord, so from the Welsh marshes. And I believe it was him that married Nest, the Welsh princess, and through that then they had the sons Maurice Fitzgerald, and it was Fitzgerald's nephew who was Strongbow's second in command during the Norman conquest of Ireland, and from that they branched off into 2 main families, the Earls of Kildare and the Earls of Desmond. The Earls of Desmond tended to be more Gaelicised. In fact, the famous quote, "more Irish than the Irish themselves," is actually attributed to the Fitzgeralds of Desmond, whereas the Earls of Kildare tended to more align themselves with England. They were long-time rivals of the Butlers. These 2 families slugged it out for centuries. The Butlers would kind of win out in longevity than because the Butlers tended to side with England, and the Fitzgeralds had 2 failed rebellions against England. Oh, go away, Norton. So yeah, that's where the Fitzgeralds come from. Oh, McNeil tends to be Scottish. Tends to be. I mean, you can. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the O'Neills anglicised their name to McNeil. I know the McNeills of Barra originally claimed O'Neill descent from the Killoa and the Neil, but it doesn't seem likely according to DNA. Originally, then, after some DNA results, they thought that maybe they were Viking, Norse family. This maybe doesn't seem likely so either, because there's 2 McNeil clans in Scotland, the McNeils of Barra and the other McNeils from one of the Southern Islands. They're not related, even though they're now clumped together by the Lords of Leon, and the current McNeil chief is Lord of both of them, but they're not actually from the same lines. They're unrelated. So yeah, it's so some of them may be Irish, but most McNeils would be Scottish. And like I said, there's ongoing genetic tests going on to find out, their ancestry. But interesting times with DNA and finding out who's who. My grandmother was Nolan. what might you be able to say about Nolans? Yeah, Nolan. That looks like an anglicization of Nolan from the New Orleans. There's actually two branches of families that adopted the name Nolan, which yours is an anglicization of. The first ones are from. They might even be on here. There you go. That's probably the most famous branch of Nolan's. They are famous for being the inaugurators of the Kings of Leinster. So they're probably the most famous branch of Nolans. But there is a Nolans that are related distantly or from the same tribal group as the O'Driscolls, who were part of the Corca Leagda or Corca Lira, depending on how you want to pronounce it, who, like I say, were the original ruling tribe of Munster before the Oanoctor came to power. Hughes, I've got Hughes video 7th one up from my TikTok from the bottom. I've already done them tonight, but if you want to catch that, Barry has a few. Perhaps it is in my interest. Just got a severe thunderstorm warning. Severe warning. Severe. Just got. Oh. Well, be safe, Osprey. Sorry. Barry is you have the Barrys that came across to Ireland with the Fitzgeralds. They actually closely related, but the funny thing is the Barrys arrived in a land where the clan that ruled this area were the O'Bara, and they anglicized their name to Barry. So you actually have a big conglomerate of families of Barrys, one Irish, one Norman, and there's no way to distinguish really who's who anymore in that area, because the Barrys were also, what you might use to distinguish families, a very poor way of doing it, but it's one of the ways to do it, is based on religion. The Barrys were a Norman family, and most Barrys stayed Catholic. So yeah, you have that Barry. You also have the Barrys of Donegal and Mayo. So Mayo and Donegal, and they're two Irish families as well. So depending on where you're from would depend on that. McCarthy is a variation of McCarthy. There is a unrelated McCarthy's found in Connacht, just McCarthy, but you can anglicize McCarthy to McCarthy as well. So they can be, which obviously the McCarthys, I've got a video on them, but the McCarthys are a Oanoctor family. So they were the ruling family of the Oanoctor. The McCarthy Moors were the leading family of that. So it depends again where you're from, it depends where you're from, would depend on maybe your link, as it were, to which one you would maybe descend from. But yeah, it's I like I say, my McCarthy video on TikTok does sort of break it down a few different branches. Yeah. Hang on. I hope you don't mind me asking a few surnames. I'll come to them in a second. There's a few there. No idea how I landed here, but my family is a Dempsey and White. Yeah. White is a hard one. Dempsey's easy. Dempsey's a bit easier. Dempsey's are they should be. I'm surprised they're not on here. To be fair, here you go. So yeah, the Dempseys are part of the Efeely, so they're related to the O'Connor Feelies, the Efeely king group that was sort of in central Ireland. Quite a strong independent family. If you ever read the annals on them, they're quite an aggressive wee family in the along with the O'Connor Feelies. But yeah, they're from this wee area here. But White is I'll get to you, Flutter, in a second. White is problematic for a number of reasons. One, so I think it's bar in Irish is white. So anyone like Finbar or anything like that would anglicize their name to White. You have the Whites coming across from England, and you also hang on, or just close that down by. My microphone fell over. Yeah, so you have the Whites coming across from England as well, and you also have which was what was known as the Statutes of Kilkenny, which this sort of region in Leinster, anyone with an Irish surname was told to change it to a job title like Smith, carpenter, butler, or a colour like white, black, brown, or a town like Chester or Lincoln. So yeah, you get like a lot of whites in Ireland that are coming from multiple unrelated sort of groups. Plunkets are I can't remember which group they came across in, but the Plunkets are I actually use them as an example for. They're one of the perfect examples for a family that use a clan coat of arms. They sort of broke the mold there. The Plunkets were and still are a quite a prominent family in Irish history. But they're found primarily in like Kildare, sort of surrounding the Pale, but they're originally from Britain. They came across with one of the migrations. I just can't remember for the life of me which group they came across with. It'll probably come to me. Thank you so much, everyone, for the gifts. Starlight, thank you very much for the heart me and the rose. Sarah Godfrey, thank you very much for the wings. JKLM, thank you very much for the roses. Sarah, thank you very much for the wings again. Zach for the TikToks, thank you so very much for those. Peter and Brady, thank you so much for those roses. Roy, Heather, thank you. Boss, thank you very much for the roses. This microphone, ever since I've moved it now, because it was set up the way it was set up. D, thank you for the heart me. SBR Nurse, TJ, Jason, Tracy, thank you very much for all those roses. Thank you so very much. It's me. Thank you very much for the rose. Ghost by Shell. Thank you very much for the flame heart. Right. You don't have to gift people. Just all this information is free. I will just try and get through as many surnames as I can tonight, and hopefully we'll get through a lot. Any updates on Hester? Where might come from? Yes, Ryan, you were asking yesterday. I didn't do a lot of digging, but from what I gather, it's from Mayo, and they claim to be on a generic search. It claims to be someone from Italy, to give the name, but I'm not convinced. But yeah, Mayo for the moment, while I do some more digging over time. That's where the area it seems to come from. Do you know, I think the next video I'll have Campbell. I literally released a video today on Campbell. Top video. Can't miss it. Moran, I've done the Morans already. I'm going to have to do a Moran video, aren't I? I'm going to have to do a Moran video tomorrow. They weren't going to be Platinum Ram video, but everyone keeps asking about the Morans. I swear, maybe the Morans are the most interested in their family history. Crazy. I've never seen so many Morans in one place, but it's always on my lives. Interesting, thank you. Yeah, Ryan, I'll keep plugging at it. I'll keep plugging at it over time. Obviously, I've got a lot of research to do, so it will sort of keep going over time, but I will do it. Brennan, yeah, see, Brennan's another one that's got a lot of branches. I get asked them most nights too. So yeah, probably the most famous Brennans or the most numerous are the Brennans of Idua, which is an area within the kingdom of Usherga, which is now Kilkenny. They are related to the Fitzpatricks, but you also have a branch of them who are associated with the O'Maddens as well, they're not part of the O'Maddens, but they're related to the O'Maddens. You have a Brennan across the Shannon on the other side as well, from Westmeath. I can't remember who they're related to. Then you have a family who are, so Brennan is a descendant of like Brainan, which is where those three branches come from. But there's a branch of the O'Sullivans that became Brennans, but their original Irish name is like Bronnane. It's a different. It came from a different surname, but it got anglicized. A different patronymic, but it got anglicized the same way. Like a lot of them. O'Sullivans, I have a full video of the O'Sullivans on my YouTube, but the O'Sullivans are part of the Owenoctor, so they're related to the likes of the McCarthys, the O'Keefes, the O'Callahans. They're all from the same tribe with the Owenoctor, yeah, they're found in South Munster, but they didn't originally come from here. They came from North Munster originally, yeah, so they made their way down there. It's a very informative live. You've taught me so a lot. Thank you, Sarah. I'd like to share what I know, hopefully someone learns something. Interesting about the relationship between the Goldens and the O'Rourke's. William Golden O'Rourke, son of Patrick from Ireland, marry Ellen Rourke. But there you go. I can't remember if they're actually distantly related to each other, but they're from the same kingdom, as it were, medieval kingdom. So there's probably been a lot of intermarriage over time. Burns and Bryans, I have literally 2 videos of them on my YouTube. Would go check it out. I'll just give you a quick rundown on them though. O'Briens are from the Dalcosh. Not all O'Briens are from Dalcosh, but some of them, McBreens, get anglicised to O'Brien. There was a De Brian that came across with the Norman invasion, and Brian is a English name as well. So there are obviously going to be multiple unrelated, but primarily the Irish lines tend to come from O'Brien, which were part of the Dalcosh tribal group, who descended from the O'Briens, then descend from Brian Boru, who united Ireland in 1011. The Burns over here are part of I think they're from the Emal. They're related to the O'Tooles from Wicklow, but there are multiple again. There's O'Burns up here that claim to descend in Carlingford, that claim to descend from the same line. Recent DNA has proven that's not true though. And there's this O'Byrne here, although they're two totally different unrelated families, they can get anglicised the same way. And then you have the Burns coming across from Scotland. So yeah, it's Slongful, Joshua, thanks for popping in. Yes, so Yeats is greetings from Germany. Yeats is my favourite poet. I am shamefully unaware of any of Yeats's work. I'm afraid I am not as educated as I should be in other areas, poetry being one of them. Do you have a video on the O'Quins? I don't, unfortunately. The algorithm really punishes you if you do more than one video. Um, so I kind of have to just do one a day for the shorts, and the long forms take me so long to do because they have a lot of work behind them. But a Quinn is a variation of kun, like kun, kuin. They're like, like hound. So you have a Quins of um, Rapo in Donegal. There's probably the more famous and numerous Quins are associated with Longford. I think they're is it the so I can't remember who they're related to. I think it's the O'Kellys. They're associated with the O'Kellys if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they're related to the O'Kellys. And there's obviously the Quins of the Dalcash of Clare. So yeah, there's quite a few Quins around. Oh, Quins. Oh, Doyle. I have a Doyle video on YouTube, but I am a Doyle, so welcome in, fellow Doyle. But primarily it's associated with Leinster. That's where the most numerous lines come from. I'm from the wee branch down in South Down. They're unrelated. Doyle's, they're not. They get associated with being a Viking surname, but they're not. Dovegal has a long history. The surname Dovegal has a long history in Ireland. Well, from the patronymic name Dovegal. So yeah, I would say check that out if you want. But it's mostly a name that was given to Irish people as they moved into Norse, what would be Norse towns, Norse founded towns, should we say. And that's how Doyle sort of exists in anything on the McTeagues. Yeah, McTeagues are probably right. Again, it's a name with multiple origins, but the Meath tends to be the main area for the Teague families. But again, I think there's a few smaller families associated with all parts of Ireland. But just off the top of my head, because I know there's a clan Teague or Tig in Roscommon, but I don't know if anyone adopted that name from that clan. If you know what I mean, if that clan became a surname. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's but yeah, Meath is definitely one of them. So anything on Buckley? Yeah, Buckley comes from two Irish surnames, O'Buckley and O'Bacala, and from them you get Buckley, Bagley. So yeah, it's found in Mayo and found in Cork. But then you obviously have the Buckleys of England, which are Anglo-Saxon. They're actually one of the few. I believe it's the Buckleys, or is it Berkeley? But I'm pretty sure it's Buckley. It's one of the few traceable lines to Saxon nobility. Excuse me, I'm taking a drink now. I didn't mean to interrupt there, but yeah, I needed that drink. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down. Doherty, yeah. Oh. Let's get him. Let's get him. I have a video of the Doherty. Oh. Doherty's on my YouTube long form video, but they are Doherty's up here, and they are branches of Kinlowen. They're actually very closely related to the O'Donnells. They were horse lords, I believe, or something to do with cavalry. They famously sided with the English during the 9 Years' War. Were promised a lot of stuff, and then didn't receive it, so they rebelled against them and laid siege to Derry in 1605, is it? So after maybe a little bit later, 1611 maybe. But anyway, they were beaten, and that is where they lost a lot of their land after that, unfortunately. Opatry. Is Opatry a variation of the Opatans? I've never come across Opatry. Like I say, if it's a variation of the Opatans, then they're related to the Kinlowen and the O'Neills, but as a separate surname, I've not come across that name before. I've come across Patton, Peyton, but never Patry. Hang on, I'm losing names here. Lynch, yeah, Lynch is you've got the Antrim family, Lynch, so they're from the Dariada. Lindsay, Lynch, they're all sort of from the same name. You also have the branch in Fanad, in Donegal, and then you have one that is one of the 14 tribes of Galway. They recently claim Irish descent, but they used to claim Norman descent, so I think the jury's out on that until DNA proves otherwise. But they were one of the 14 tribes that controlled the mercantile and political life of the city of Galway. There's 14 of them. So yeah. McLaughlin, yeah. Oh, hang on. One of my members has messaged. Hang on, let me see. Try and get one of them. Alright, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Did I see it right? I definitely saw one of my members message me on here. I'm gonna guess. I don't know who it was though. I'm sorry. I don't know who it was. But I'm gonna guess. I think it was it Dee Dee? If so, Dee Dees are from Kerry and Limerick sort of area, part of the Cara Lucra group. But yeah, they're found in Kerry basically, and part of Limerick. There was another member. Oh my god! I wish it would put members to or members' requests to the side so I could actually see them. It's so annoying that I can never see the members one there's 600 people in one chat and a load in YouTube as well, so it's kind of hard to break it down. Lisa Donnelly, yeah, Donnelly's got a few branches. Probably the bigger ones are part of the Kinlowen in Ulster. Then there's Donnellys in Donegal as well. But yeah, the Donnellys in Ulster are probably the more famous to Kinloan because they were hereditary marshals for the O'Neills. So they had obviously a hereditary title and job that sort of went with the family wherever they went. And then obviously you have the smaller branches like up in Donegal and in Sligo, part of the Fiacre, and another one that's associated with the Corca Liga or Corca Lira. So yeah, there's quite a few Donnellys. So yeah, you'd have relation either the branches related to the O'Driscolls, branches related to the O'Dowds, branches related to the O'Donnells, or branches related to the O'Neills. Um, they're all separate. And then I believe Donnelly's also anglicised the name to Brown, so if there's any Browns in there, there's probably they're probably related. Amazing knowledge, thank you. You're welcome, Jess. Why do we have the O before the name? So O is Irish surnames are patronymic in early medieval history. So if you were some might add Sean and Michael, so my name would have been Michael McSean, and then my son's name is Sean as well, so he would have been Sean McMichael. And then, but over time, people started to, it happened around the sort of 10th 11th century in Ireland, a little bit earlier than the rest of the islands, the Isles of Ireland and Britain. Families started to use it as a term. The grandsons, like O became grandson of, and a lot of people trying to claim a relationship to a famous ancestor, and it just carried on being O from that point on. So you had a lot of, so the earliest names, the two earliest names are the O'Clerys and the O'Cannons. They're about 30 years apart from each other in the annals. There's a debate which one's the eldest, but from 916 I think the O'Clerys, and then 945 I think is the O'Cannons, somewhere around there. Obviously they were claiming descent from their grandfather, I can't remember, from Canaan, or and it just passed on from then. It just means grandson of, but it just eventually became descendant of. And a lot of them, you'll find that a lot of families attribute their famous ancestor to the Battle of Clontarf in 1014, especially in Clare and Munster. So yeah, it's was Owen a chieftain name? Yeah, so the Owen is there's Owens that are a branch of the O'Neills. A lot of O'Neills became Owen, primarily because apparently Elizabeth I, during the 9 Years' War, when the Tudor invasion of Ireland was happening, they banished the name O'Neill. So a lot of O'Neills changed the name to Owen. But there's actually, obviously there's a Welsh and English branches of the surname Owen too. But yeah, it's got an Irish line as well. Any OGs? I've never heard of that name, I'm sorry. Is that a real name? I'm sorry if it is, and I'm just like laughing here, like I've never heard of that name. I've never ever heard that name. That's so interesting. Any McCardles? Yeah, McCardle's an interesting one. It kind of falls into the same category as the Doyles and the McAuliffes and all these claimed McCotters, all these claimed Irish surnames that are Viking, but the McArdles actually are a branch of the McMahons. So they were kings of Airchiela. It's new to Ireland. Good luck. um, I'll have to. Do I dare look that up? Do I dare look that up? That surname. Um, yeah. Do I dare even find out? Maybe I'm. Um, I hope I'm not insulting you with that sort of not knowing what it means. I know sort of there's 3,000 between 3,500 and 6,000 surnames. So I know a couple of thousand, but I don't know them all, unfortunately. So I do apologize if I don't get your um, if I don't know all the names. It's just one of those things. Wow, Sheriff, thank you very much for the £5 gift on YouTube. Thank you so very much for that. Don't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. That we like. Thank you so very much. McClintock, around Donegal County. That's right. They are around Donegal. They're sometimes anglicised to McClinton as well. So you get McClintock, McClinton. Uh, it's primarily a Scottish name. It's associated with a Scottish name, so that they more than likely came across um, from Scotland, um, and I know it's an abbreviation for it's like McClintock. The Mac in it is actually not the son of, but it's more it's part of McGilla, so it's the devotee of, I can't remember the saint's name though, um, off the top of my head. It's really annoying. Um, but yes, is it the servant of Finian? I don't think it is. Anyway, yeah, they are primarily found in Donegal, but uh, the name can also get sort of anglicised to Leonard as well, which is also another name found uh, in Donegal too. So, oh, we're going too far. But yeah, McClintock. So yeah, most likely Scottish, came across to Ireland, and maybe during the plantations during the 17th century, early modern period. Um, South Ulster was primarily settled by Scots. North Ulster was primarily kept to the native Irish. Are the Irish Celts? Blood unto themselves. My grandmother's Cork Lynch. My grandfather's from Scotland. I'm trying to piece my DNA via names. If you're going to do DNA, stay away from things like Ancestry. They do autosomal testing. If you want to find out like your origin of your surname, you need to do Y-DNA testing, which is done through things like FTDNA. As for the Irish Celts, culturally yes, linguistically yes, genetically no. Um, the Celts is obviously a broad term for the Hallstatt society, and as this influence of the society spread out, you during the Iron Age, and influenced all the way to Spain and all the way to Ukraine and the Isles of Ireland and Britain. Um, you know, uh, all these sort of had major cultural influences, societal influences on these societies. So, and you may find that small group of noble individuals, nobles, sort of came across and took over small kingdoms, but the debate is out on whether that actually happened and how the Irish became, inverted commas, Celtic, but were not related to the Hallstatt Celts genetically. Thank you, Fernand. No, you're very welcome, sure. If I get more information, I'll always share it. So just I didn't have that much information on them. I just know their location and that they're the followed devotees of a saint. Which isn't that much information, but I always look anyone names that I come across that I'm not great on. I will always look into. Doherty, I've got a video on Doherty's on my YouTube. Yes, thank you. No, you're very welcome. McLaughlin, yes. McLaughlin, there's several branches. So you have the McLaughlins of Scotland that came across and settled also during the early modern period, part of the plantations of Ulster. They do claim Irish descent, ancient Irish descent from the early medieval period, from I believe they claim to be from the same line as the Irish McLaughlins of the Canaloan, who were the kings of Ulster, who are cousins to the O'Neills. But that's the jury's out on that. But yeah, so you have the Scottish branch, then you have the Irish branch, the one I just described there, cousins of the O'Neills, kings of Ulster, part of the Canaloan, so descended from Niall Nolgalach. Then you have the Lochlins, which got anglicised again. That's an anglicisation of Shocknall, and it got anglicised again to McLaughlin. These were kings of the southern O'Neill, so again distantly related to the O'Neills, but the high kingship of Ireland alternated between this group and this group. So yeah, again descended from Niall Nolgalach. And then you have the O'Lochlins. I cannot remember for the life of me who they're descended from, but they're if they're from the Burren, they could be from the Modrua tribal group, not related to the Dalcash O'Briens. But yeah, that is the Lochlins. I want to tell you how nice you are, and you are very vivid visions you paint. You're well versed communication. I try. I wouldn't say it's. Sometimes it can be a bit higgledy-piggledy as I get 1,000 names fired at me. But thank you very much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. Just, Zach, what about Maguire? Yes, so the Maguires, all the way up here, were kings of Fermanagh. Now they took Fermanagh from a couple of groups, one of them being the McCowells of the Kinlow, and again cousins of the O'Neills apparently. So the Maguires rose to power in the I think the 14th century, 13th century, and became the dominant family. Their main hub is the capital of County Fermanagh, which is a place called Inniskillen, and their castle still stands in the town today. It was converted into a English castle, and then it was turned into a military museum. It's still standing. The museum's still there. It's like a Gaelic Irish history at the bottom, and you make your way up to modern warfare, like the British Army in Afghanistan. But you have all these layers up. Really great, worth a visit. Even if you're not a Maguire, it's worth a visit. But Maguire should go there because that's your little piece of land. Maybe you can wrestle it off the National Trust, get it back. Yeah. So. Why is O'Cahan not in capital letters on this map? I don't know. I didn't make this map. This map is terrible. I just use it as a visual aid. I would love. Actually, do you know what? Let me see if I can do some. I wanted to do something the other day. Just give me 2 seconds, and then we will. What we'll do where did I see this poll? How do I do this? Okay, and then because this map is shocking. I mean, I think most of us can agree. Can agree about it. How do I do this? This is so annoying. Just get literally. Yeah, I want to. So okay, no, let's start that again. Right. What I'm gonna do is that was a test. I'm just doing a test here for a second. Can any of you see that poll on TikTok? Can you see that poll on TikTok? Can you see that poll on TikTok? Anyone? Oh, you can. Right. Okay. There'll be another poll in a second. There'll be another poll in a second. Give it 2 seconds. Right. So, not this poll. Nobody vote on this poll. But in a minute, we're gonna do a poll to see, because this map is shocking and it doesn't have that enough names on it. The next poll will be red smiles will dictate that you want me to, on the live, put your names onto a map, and then you can see each place and get a visual aid on where your name is, and I'll put it on. Will mean that the live's a little bit slower, but you will get to see your name appear on this map. And the sad cry face blue will be no, just keep the live the way it is and go use this map or other maps like it, because I want you to just hurry up and get to my name. So that will be the vote. Okay, here. So let's see. Go. Okay. So how do I get this? Let me just get a poll up again. So that was yeah. Okay. So we stop that one, and then restart. Okay. So there you go. Laughy face, smiley face for yes. I want you to slow the live down a wee bit, but put my name on the map. I want you to, and sad face is no. Keep the live as it is. Let's just run through the names as quick as we can, and don't slow it down. So red is okay, all right, okay. Sorry, YouTube. I'll get to you in a second. Just, but it seems overwhelming on that one. Okay. How do I I don't know how to do it on YouTube. YouTube, there's only a 10 years in there, so I've just put yes or no in the comment section, because there's only 10 years in that one, so I'll be able to see them better. Right, okay, so that was pretty overwhelming. Right, slow the live down just a tad. Put the names on the maps. Okay, right. I'll create a map for next week then, and then what we'll do is we'll just, so things like the fact there's only 3 names in the middle of Donegal is ridiculous. So we'll start putting the names on the map, like the McLaughlins, like the Gormans, like I know the O'Rourke's are already here, but like those sort of names. So yeah, so we'll do that. We'll go for that. I think that was an overwhelming choice. Okay, right. Right, we'll go back to doing the surnames for now. And then like I say, we'll set that up. So thanks for everyone for taking part in that. Really appreciate that. Right. We were talking about O'Cahan, weren't we? I got distracted. Yeah, O'Cahan, there's a couple of unrelated families of O'Cahan. The O'Cahan, the biggest and most populous O'Cahans are the O'Cahans of Derry. They are, again, another family that claim descent from the Kinloan. So they're related to the O'Neills, and all those sort of families that come from that sort of line. But it has multiple branches like Kane, Keen, You know, Keen is normally found in Munster though. Keen is normally found in Munster, but they descend from the same name of Cahan, not the same individual, but they descend from the same name. So I can't remember who the Keens of Munster descend from, but the O'Cahans descend from Cahan Neil. So yeah, it's probably they're the probably biggest families. Breen, County Armagh. Yeah, Breen's got a few branches. No, I don't think the Breens are from. I don't know if any Breens from Armagh. I know of Breens from. Well, I'll just tell you the Breens I know, and then we can just. I'm not saying they don't, but I only know if I know of 4 branches of Breens. So, but I've never come across the Breens of Armagh, unfortunately. So yeah, there's 2 Breens in Westmeath. One of them is part of the Southern Neil, so they're related to the Mulochlins or McLaughlins. I don't know who the other ones are related to. They're on the more towards Kildare, but there's 2 Breens in Meath. There's Breens in Mayo who are related to the they're not related to, but they're found in the Castellos Barony. And then there's the Breens of Roscommon who are I don't know, I think they're part of the Kellys, but yeah, Roscommon, Connacht, and 2 families in Westmeath is the Breens. So yeah, it can be. There could be an Armagh branch though. I just don't know all the branches of the surname. Like I say, I know 4. Sorry, I don't know if there's 5. But just watched your video of my last name Breslin. Amazing, thank you. You're welcome, Omra. I hope that one I really enjoyed doing that one because there's physical items and locations attributed to Breslin. So if you are a Breslin, to know that you could go and see their bell or the church that your family walked in is I find it so interesting. So I was glad to be able to share. Some families just don't have that connection, so it's very nice when you find a family that does have that connection. So thank you. A couple of generations in Lurgan. This is amazing. Thank you. You're welcome, Lorna. You're not far from where I'm from originally. I'm from Banbridge. So north we go. Hang on. The default is I have to sit down here. Whenever it's whenever I'm waffling, unless the surname is in the north, because I get told. Yes. NB Lawton, yeah, Lawton's from the from Lactane. There's actually again there's at least 3 or 4 families from that line. Let's start from the top. I think is probably the best. I'll make our way down. I wish I could go over this map faster. It's so slow. Okay, so starting from the top. Mayo is a branch of the O'Kellys. Is a branch of the Lawtons. Branch of the Southern Neil is the Lawtons, and a branch of the Ebruin. So just to break that down quicker for you. Oh yeah, sorry, and there's an O'Neill, the Kinloan. So we were starting from the top. So branch from the Kinloan, related to the O'Neills distantly. Then we have the branch of the Vina, so they are related to the O'Kellys. Then we have the branch of the Silmurdi, so they're related to the McDermotts. We have a branch in Mayo. I don't know who they're from though. Sorry, I just know they're from Mayo. And who else? Is that it? That's the only ones I can think of. I'm pretty sure there's more, but yeah, that's your groups. Some of them. I'm pretty sure there's more. I'll probably have to see if a family like that, they really need a video for an explanation because there's so many of them. But yeah, I'll send you a galaxy if you can do Gillen. You do not send me a galaxy. I actually need to thank everyone for all the gifts already, because you don't have to gift to get your name mentioned. You don't have to gift. This is all free information. This is, I will happily tell you your family history for free. This is not. I'm not trying to get money off anyone. So yeah, do not think that if I'm not doing your name, it's because I'm missing it on purpose. You just have to understand there's 2 chats and there's hundreds of people in the chat. So, but anyway, the McGillafuilon, so Gillen comes from 2 branches, one from Scotland and one that is part of the Efiacra. So Sligo with same lines as the O'Dowds. But yes, you do not have to send a galaxy for that information. Thank you very much for the heart, some girl. Admiral Boom for the roses and the heart me, thank you very much. Elm for the roses. Donut from some girl and ice cream, thank you very much. Lorna for the shield, thank you so very much. Viper for the hammer. Tracy O'Brien for the rose. Danielle for the rose. Viper for the tofu. Smiley face, is that? Thank you for all those roses, thank you very much. Keith Landers, thank you very much for the heart me. Autumn for all those roses, thank you so very much. Professional Vamp, thank you very much for the heart me and the roses. Natalie De La Vegas, thank you very much for the rose. Distinguished Diner, thank you very much for the rose. Lana for the heart me. Nicole Kindle, thank you very much for all those white roses. And Meme, thank you very much for all those and wings. Fiona Grace Campbell, thank you very much for the alien. Pet, thank you. Rhea for the rose. Doc, thank you for the rose. Lisa, thank you very much for the heart me and the thunder. And Nicole for the rose. Johnny for the rose. Roundy for the rose. Laurie Boast for the heart me. Ginger Gypsy for the rose. Bobby for the flame heart. CT Mum for the rose. Kitschy for the love you so much and the roses. Brush for the rose. So many. Stop sending gifts. You don't need to send gifts. Greg for the rose. Whale. Seal for the rose. Right. Okay. I think I'm caught any O'Neills here. I think I'm all caught up. Right. McShane is a variation of O'Neill. Some too much Thanksgivings. Let's get back to the real stuff. Yes, I know. I just need to thank people, but you don't have to gift. Stop gifting. If you've got spare change, just become a sub. Okay. Let's get back into it. So, O'Rourke's O'Shea, please. I've got a video on the O'Shea's Daddy Care. I've got a video on the O'Shea's. Look, go down. Halfway down, there's a yellow and blue shield. I forgot to put the name on it, but I thought the O'Shea's would recognise their coat of arms. I've got a video on the O'Shea's. Just really quickly, though, if you're too busy to watch a 3-minute video, they are from Kerry. They're part of the Crocoduvna. tribal group, more than likely related to the Oanoctalochline. Um, they were one of the smallest groups of the Corcodovna, so you had the O'Falvies and the O'Connells, the O'Sheas, the O'Sullivans and McCarthys ended up coming into this area, and eventually the Fitzmaurices and the O'Sheas suffered a lot for that. They lost their lands and took on more hereditary administrative roles. But yeah, they're from Kerry. And not Tipperary, the branch in Tipperary, the Shees, who claim descent from the Sheas, are actually Norman family. So O'Reilly, I see an O'Reilly and O'Rourke. O'Reilly and Rourke. So the Kingdom of Breffna here, they the West Breffna was the O'Rourkes, East Breffna was the O'Reillys, and they were related to each other from the same paternal line. Sometimes they ruled both sides, so the O'Rourkes would rule all of Breffna, the O'Reillys would rule all of Breffna. It just depended on who was winning, because they just spent the whole time knocking 7 bells out of each other. So yeah, this is the person looking for O'Reilly and O'Rourke. You have a long history of smashing each other. The O'Rourkes tended to be the more dominant of the two in their early history, but yes, and any McCabe's in here are were the Gallowglass soldiers for both families. So not only were they knocking 7 bells out of each other, they're making the McCabe's knock 7 bells out of each other too. Just as I said that, Melissa comes in and says McCabe. Yeah, the Gallowglass family for the O'Rourkes and the O'Reillys. So yeah, and wow, so much. How do you know all this stuff? What's your occupation? So my occupation is well, I've just quit my job in banking, so that's not that's not true. But I lecture Irish medieval history for Tribe 101. As for my how I know this sort of stuff, the best way I sort of explain to people is we all know people who can reel off football teams and players and stats, and can go back centuries in football knowledge, and whether that's American football or soccer, or this is my version of that. So this is just how I probably use the same way that they learn things in my head without realizing it. O'Neill, please. Yes, so McShane and Hughes are both this branches of the O'Neills. Both of them, McShane and Hughes. But Hughes I already have a video on. O'Neills are famous because they were kings of Ulster. They're a branch of the Kinaloan. There's multiple famous O'Neill branches related to each other. O'Neills of Tyrone, O'Neills of the Fuse, were branches of the same branches. There's a lot of them, but they were basically Clandeboy. They were basically in Ulster, but there is a unrelated O'Neill of the Burren in County Clare. I'm not sure which king group they're related to. If they're from the Burren, they could be either the Dalcash or the Mordrua. But yes, that's who they are from. McMahons there's two McMahons. There's the McMahons of Clare. They claim descent from Mathmagan. I can't remember if it's the Mathmagan who's Brian Boru's brother, he was king of Munster very shortly before his death, or if it's through an uncle. But yes, they're related to the Dalcash. And then we have the McMahons of Archella, who were unrelated. They're not from the same lines, but they are from this kingdom of Archella, which originally kind of stretched all the way up to Donegal along South Ulster, but with the expansion of the O'Neills in the 8th century, 7th, 8th century, they kind of, well, it wasn't the O'Neills then, it was the Kinaloan, their king group, kind of pushed them down to here. So yeah, McMurrow is a variation of McMurrough. So there, which is then more often anglicized to Murphy. I would ask you to go check the Murphy video that I did the other day. A lot of that information will be very relevant to you. Sweeney is up here, but it's all over Ireland because they were Gallowglass family. So I've done a full video on the Gallowglass families and the McSweeneys on my YouTube channel. But yeah, they are found primarily in Donegal. They sided against Robert the Bruce and end up exiled to Ireland, but they already claimed descent from Amrahan, who was the prince of the O'Donnells, or the Kin O'Connell. So that's how they used that sort of possible relation to integrate themselves into the courts of the O'Donnells. But check out the full video. Again, full video for the Burns on my YouTube channel too as well. So if you're wanting that sort of information, I would say go check it out. I've already done them tonight as well, so I don't want to lead you on in the hope that you can you'll get some information, because I've already done it, and I'd feel anyone else who's asking for their surname maybe would miss out. Monaghan, yeah, Monaghan are they're from Roscommon, which I always find interesting because you'd think they'd be from Monaghan up here, but no, they're from Roscommon. They're a branch of, I believe they're a branch of the Yvaina, who are related to the O'Kellys. So yeah, O'Keefe's, yeah, O'Keefe's are part of the Oanoctor. They're down here. This is an area called Duhallow, so they're related to the likes of the McAuliffes. Their overlords were the McCarthy McDonaghs, which then got anglicised to McDonagh. So if there's any McDonaghs, there's a branch here. Lords of the O'Keefes. But yeah, they're part of the Oanoctor, so they're related to the McCarthys, the O'Sullivans, the O'Callahans. Yeah. So they're found in those sort of circles. Please do Breen. I already did Breen today. I don't wanna not that I don't want to do it. I'll do them again tomorrow. But sorry, Will. I've already done them today. And I like I say, if I do names too often in one night and someone else doesn't get their name, it's a little bit unfair. Mulligan, yeah, Mulligan's got a couple of branches. So it's got a Scottish branch, but it's also got two Irish branches. Mulligans are from Monaghan and from Donegal, are the two sort of areas where it comes from. So it's primarily an Ulster name. But yeah. McGillicuddy, yeah, McGillicuddies are a branch of the O'Sullivans. Actually, they're from, I think it's here. This mountain range here is called McGillicuddy Reeks. So the whole mountain range is basically named after the McGillicuddies. The McGillicuddies were a branch of the O'Sullivans placed at their northern most exposed area to defend the passes into O'Sullivan territory. So they were the front line family basically against encroachment from invading forces. McCarthy's, I've already done them tonight, and I have a video on them on my TikTok 2 days ago. Yesterday, we did the McCarthy's 2-3 minute video. It'll tell you all you need to know. Well, it won't tell you all you need to know. There's a lot of it, but it will start the journey at least. But we have already done them tonight, so I don't wanna take up other people's space whenever we've already done it. But I will do it again tomorrow if you're on tomorrow. If I'm saying I'll do your name tomorrow, or that I've already done it and that I'll do it again, I will. So I'm trying to find out about Jeffrey. Yeah, Jeffrey's an interesting one because a lot of people don't realize that it's an Irish surname. It comes from McShirihey. So yeah, it's a lot of people don't realize that Jeffrey has an Irish branch. There's actually two of them as well, which has always been interesting. So I suppose the most prominent one is related to the Fitzpatricks of Kilkenny, who were the rulers of Usherga, the kingdom of Usherga. This sort of line here is within the area of Usherga. And yeah, they where this butlers of Earls of Ormond sort of is. So there's a branch of the Fitzpatricks that became Jeffrey, and then there's another one from Cork, but I don't know anything about them. But I just know that they're associated with Cork. But because I was more when I was reading about them, I was more interested in this one. So I apologise. But yes, Will. So I hope that gives you some information to run with. I mean, obviously Jeffrey's obviously got has got English origins too. I don't want to say that it doesn't, but it does. Loftus. Oh, we've already done Lactine, or the Irish surname of Lactine. I feel bad. Feel bad if I really you've given 20 gifts as well. Why would you do that? You make me feel bad. Okay, so I'll just quickly run you through it, Michelle. This Loftus is an anglicisation, the same way that Lawton was. We had Lawton. It can also be anglicised to Lachlan. So Murphy, I've done a video on Murphy literally yesterday. If you want to go check it out. Yeah. So there's loads of lactanes in the which like I say became Loftus. So we'll start from, because I'm already sort of here. We have the branch from Mayo. We have the branch from related to the O'Neills, who are part of the Kinlowen. We have a branch that are related to the O'Kellys. They are part of the Avina tribal group. Then we have a branch that are related to the McDermotts, because they're part of the Silmuridi, which is part of the Ebruin. A lot of Irish words, a lot of crazy sort of sounding things if you're not a native Irish speaker or surrounded by it. But basically, they are related to the likes of the O'Connors and the McDermotts. It would be their close families links. But there's more families of it in I think there's a branch in Erchella, and there's a branch in Cork as well. So Monaghan, County Monaghan and County Cork, that can all be anglicised to Loftus. Ward is it's got a couple of branches. The only term I know there's more, but the only term I'm aware of is the Macon Ward, who are from Donegal, and the Ward family who came across from England and were given Castle Welland, which is a castle that was originally built by the Fitzgeralds, and was given to the Wards, I believe, in the 15th century. Can I find anything on Breen on your YouTube? Not at the minute, but they will appear eventually, very soon. They are on my list, Will. They are on my list. I've got all the research here for them. I just don't have YouTube and TikTok punish if you put out more than one video a day. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating that there are you can't put up more than one video a day without having the algorithm messed up. But I promise you they will appear on here in the very near future. So please, can you do McCormick? Been waiting for ages, please, Connell. Yes, I could do McCormick. So obviously, McCormicks are associated with Scotland. There is a branch that came across and settled Scotland from the early modern period, so around the 17th century, with the plantations of Ulster. But McCormick can also come from there's an ecclesiastical family who are earners. Now, I don't know if you know about what earners are. They are hereditary. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. No, thank you. They are hereditary landowners within the church. So there is a family in County Down who were earners in County Down. So they're a native Irish family who took on the name Cormac. Then you have the McCormicks of County Clare, who actually come from O'Cormacan but got anglicised to it's from the same name of Cormac. So they were earners as well. So I don't know if they're related or not, but they they're earners of another church. I do have the churches written down because I've been doing a video on earners, these hereditary job titles within the church. But yeah, and then there's McCormicks of Longford as well. So there's 3 branches there of Irish McCormicks, as well as the Scottish branch that came across. So there's like I say, the two main ones are associated with church. I got a video, like I said, on my TikTok about earners. If you want to learn about them and find out what your McCormick ancestors were doing, go check that out. And that will sort of give you some knowledge until the McCormick video comes out. Whenever that might be. I don't even know where it is on my list. I've got so many questions, so many people asking, that I'm still just trying to catch up. Scully, yeah, Scully's they were if I can get this blooming thing. So they're from Meath. They're earners too. So yeah, they're another family that if you want to learn about earners, check out Earner Clans on my TikTok. It was literally, or YouTube, it was literally a couple of days ago. So it's one of the top videos on there. Check out what your family were doing. But yeah, they're earners of in Tipperary and Meath. So there's Meath and there's Tipperary. So can you do Joyce? We have the same house 400 years. Wow, Joyce. There you go, Joyce. So you have Joyce County up here. I don't know if the Joyces were one of the 14 tribes of Galway, one of the mercantile and political families of the city of Galway. But there's a Joyce here from Joyce County as well. So they probably are related. But yeah. The Joyces are apparently from, I think they're Norman. They're a Norman family that took over. I don't in the Galway family, but I'm not so sure about this Joyce. Like I say, I'm not sure if there's a relation. But yeah, they're from Connacht. Can you do a Burke? Yeah, Burke came across the Burrs or Burkes came across in 1172 with Henry II. And they were granted, they took Ulster, they owned Ulster for a wee while, but primarily they would end up in Connacht. And from here, the family would branch out into the McCostellos are related to them, they're a branch of them. I would branch out into multiple families, including the McWilliam Burkes and the Clanrickard Burkes. Now, these two families would fight each other for centuries. one of the most famous battles, the Battle of Knockdoe, was fought by these two branches against each other. It's the first battle with a record of a firearm being used in Ireland, so it's in the late medieval period. The first firearm being used in Ireland is during the Battle of Knockdoe between these two Burke families, and the guy who died from it wasn't shot; he was bludgeoned to death with it. So, which is funny, as you may say, anecdote about that. But yeah, so. And it's purely because one of the families was really Gaelicized and the other family was Anglicized and always looking towards England for inspiration, shall we say? I suppose inspiration from can you please do the last name Henry? Yeah, Henry. There's four branches of Henry. Yeah, there's it gets anglicized from like Kendry and McHenry. I can't remember where the others are, but I know that there's two branches of Henry from Ulster. One's related to the Kilnoe and the other's from Airchiela. So if you look at anything to do with like Kendry, McHenry, Muck Henry, there's quite a few branches, McKendrick, anything like that. It's also found is from Scotland too. So, can you please do Murray? I haven't heard you do it before. Murray is obviously traditionally associated with Scotland, from the Murray clan, as it were. But Murray is also a variation of Murphy. So if you look at my second to most recent video, the Murphy surnames on there, but obviously you have the Murrays who came from Moray in Scotland, northern Scotland, and they settled in a lot of similar places where the Murphys would come from. So Murray, Moray, Murphy, McMurrah, Murrah, they're all interchangeable. So there's no real way to say it's from a specific, you're from a specific line or a specific branch. But they all come from the same sort of Gaelic and Gaelic sort of name, and it was a very common name in medieval Ireland. So yeah, it's that's Murray. I would just recommend looking at the Murphy video for a bit more information. Like I say, it's Cleaver. Any ideas about Cleaver? As far as I'm aware, it's an English surname. I'm not aware of any Irish variations of the name. I've never come across it in a Irish context. Sorry to say. Can you please do McMurrah and Kavanagh? If you want to know a little bit about the McMurraghs, check the Murphy video out. But yeah, the McMurphys and Murphys, Kavanaghs, they're all related to the Eakinshillag tribe, and they were rulers of South and Middle Leinster, kings of Leinster basically. They kind of had a bad time when what do you call them, when the O'Connors were in power. So they kicked them out, and obviously Dermot Moore is famous for inviting the Normans across to retake his kingdom. So it's yeah, it's but yeah, check out the Murphy name. That'll give you some information for now anyway. Right, what time are we on? Oh, 9 minutes. 9 minutes till bedtime. I tell you, it's been 2 hours already. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Caulfield, yeah, Caulfield is a variation of McCowell, and it's found if you look at the Campbell video I just did, and it's so the McCowells are found primarily in. They're originally from Tyrone, and they took over parts of Fermanagh, and then with the sort of expansion of the Maguires and the O'Neills, they're related to the O'Neills. A branch of them ended up down in Leinster, where they anglicised their name to Caulfield. So yeah, that's the McCall's Caulfields. Family, as it were. Do you know anything about the Leon family? There's the problem with Leon is actually it descends from like 3 or 4 families. In fact probably more, because a lot of families anglicize their name to Leon. Primarily, most of them are associated with sort of Galway and Cork, but there's too many to go into one one sort of video, because like I say, a lot of families anglicize their name to Leon. They're related to like the O'Loans, the O'Lewans, the Leons. There's just so many of them that I think doing a video on them would probably be the best way to do it. Yes, it does. What did I miss? Am I missing something? I don't know if I'm missing something on TikTok, YouTube chat. What about Broderick? Yeah, Broderick's an interesting one. It comes from Bruadair, even, and again, it's another family that sort of got a lot of variations. A lot of like Irish surname websites will sort of like generalize it and say, oh, it's from Brodair, a Viking, and a lot of them are actually they're all Irish families that it descends from. The branches in Ossory are related to the Fitzpatricks. Not Ossory. From Osherga, you've got a branch that are from the Kinshillig, so they're related to the Kavanaghs. You've got a branch that are from Donegal, from the Kinnelbur, from the Kinnel. I can't remember, but they're I think they're a sub branch of the O'Donnells, and I think that's it. But yeah, they're from there. So those 3 branches there. Oh, I'm slowing down. God, I'm starting to get a bit tired. This is why I want to do speak for 2 hours, because it's so draining on the brain thinking of all these surnames. I don't know how. I need to just shake. Right, I've only got 5 minutes, so we're gonna do a couple more names that I've seen here, and then if I didn't get here, what day are we on? Wednesday. We still got another night of tomorrow, where I'll get the ones that I didn't get today. I'll get you hopefully tomorrow. So if I don't get to your name, sorry. It's a lot of information and I can't stay up much later because I'll lose my voice and then I'll be tired, and then there'll be no live tomorrow. Just remember that. Just if any of you are feeling a bit please do Tobin. I know there's 2 types of Tobin. There's the Anglo-Norman Tobins, and then apparently there's an Irish branch of the Tobins. But I don't know anything about the Irish branch. I haven't come across the Irish branch of Tobins that is claimed in some sources. But most the Norman Tobins are associated with like the Butler Hill territories, so you're looking like Kilkenny and Tipperary. You retain a lot though. Yeah, I do. And that's the problem then. But you have to go through this. You have to file through it all, don't you, and read all the questions. Please do Lynch. I've already done Lynch today. I will do them tomorrow again though. Oh, sleepy. Lol. Yes, I am very sleepy. I'm very sleepy. O'Clearys. Yeah, I can do O'Clearys. They're part of the Fiacra Ein, so they're distantly related to the likes of the O'Dowds. They were found around here. I think they're even related to the O'Shaughnessy's, but they were expelled from their land. So the Fiacra was split into two branches, north and south, and they ended up becoming Brehons for the O'Donnells, and I believe the Maguires. And they're one of the claimants for the oldest surname in Ireland. I think it was like 916 AD, and yeah, they can be found all over Ireland, often anglicised to Clark. Obviously, Clark is a Scottish and Irish name, English name too, so a lot of families are sort of intermingled. But yeah, O'Cleary and Clark are the most common variations. McCarthy, please. I did the McCarthys in a video yesterday. If you want to, I've already done them tonight as well. Please, please. And yeah, but if you want information on the McCarthys, I literally did a video on them yesterday. It'll be right at the top of my TikTok. You'll find it easy, I promise. And you know, I'll and then tomorrow, if you've got any questions, about the McCarthys, I'll happily answer them then. Get the basic stuff out the way, and then you know, we could go from there. Ooh. Okay. Who else we got? Who else asked earlier? Okay. I suppose we'll do. I'll do these last two. O'Sullivan, I have a full video on my YouTube. McTighe, I've already done them tonight. Yeah, we're just gonna. So who was the SD? Can you do Doolan, please? Yeah, I could do Doolan. So Doolans are primarily found in Ulster. They're from the Kinnell, so they're found in Northern Ulster. Is where you'd normally find the anglicisation of Doolan, but there's the family from Galway too, which doesn't descend from the same name, as in the ancestor didn't have the same name. It's just been anglicised to the same name, and they're found in Galway, and then it's the same has happened again. So it's like three separate surnames, and the other one is in Laois, also known as Queen's County, or they're not appearing on here, but here's this neck of the world, this neck of the woods, and yeah, so there's a couple of they're all unrelated though, and they're all from totally different families. They're not even slightly related. But yeah, that's where the Doolans come from. So if you know where your ancestors from originally, you can sort of get an understanding of where they're from. Destiny, could you please do Mooney? Yeah, right. Okay, we'll wait this the last one because I'm so dead, so tired. Yeah, there's a couple of Mooney families, and they're all in the south and the west of Ireland. So I suppose the most famous sort of branch are from Ulster, not Ulster, from Sligo. They're related to the O'Dowds, so they're part of the king group that we spoke about earlier with the O'Clearys, and part of the Fiacra. Then you have a branch that are in Galway as well. I don't know who they're related to, but they probably could be from the southern Fiacra, the Fiacra Ein. It gets anglicised to Meany, stuff like that, and then you have Roscommon. So they're all found in West Connacht. All different groups: Vina, Fiacra Ein, and Fiacra. up here in O'Dowd. So O'Dowd, if you're looking for like maybe genetic closeness, O'Dowd, the O'Dowds, the O'Kellys, and maybe the O'Shaughnessy's. So, family tree stressful, especially when you go back to the 1800s. Yeah, good luck with that. Unfortunately, we have about 250 year blank spot in the Irish history between our records and then obviously church records. So, but I am hoping to bring on a genealogist here very soon. I'm in talks with one who will help people bridge those gaps. On our live, we'll sort of work through it. So hopefully we'll get you some help, all of you some help, and sort of linking those families together. But that is it, guys. McCall. Oh no, I know. McCalls are. If you check out, you'll see the McCalls on the latest video of McCampbell, but McCall is a variation of the McCalls. So probably the most famous branches from Clogher in Tyrone and parts of Fermanagh. They're all related to the Kinaloan. So there you go. But check out the most recent video, the Campbell video. There's a bit of information about them there. Right. Sleep well, about to grab some dinner. Okay, Kat, great to have you on here. Our Aurordans are in Ryan's seam line. Nope, different history, but I'll do them another time. Thank you, so interesting. Thank you so very much, everyone. It's been a great live. Thank you to everyone who's gifted. Dunks, Delmon. Thank you very much, Maya, Rhiannon, Swiss Cheese, Mr. Broads, Killer, Mary, Mandy. If I've missed your name, Michelle, Hascleve. Thank you, Clevey. Thank you very much. I will hopefully get you all tomorrow, but until then. Sorry, your volume is very low. It's because I'm leaning backwards and stretching, Ray. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm about to leave. Sorry, but I'll speak to you all soon. I'll see you tomorrow night, 2200 Dublin time, and then we can any names I missed tonight, I'll get you them. So until then.